Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Here comes the national news from Baba Bagede Imo Television. Before we go into the news in details, first the major headlines. Why I ordered your Oba'S to stand, Obasanjo. FRSC blames speeding as Lagos-Ibadan road crash kills 5. Police deny cultists 10 million naira levy in Rivers communities. Gunmen killed admission seekers, raise Osun Palace. On sports, Super Falcons book second round ticket as South Tome and Principe goes out of the competition. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. The news shortly. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has given insight into why he ordered traditional rulers in the York State to stand and then sit. Mr. Obasanjo is being criticized widely over the incident which occurred on Friday during the inauguration of 2 projects in Iseyin, Oyo State, where the former president was special guest of honor. In a short video circulated on internet, Mr. Obasanjo is seen expressing displeasure at the seated monarch's failure to rise and greet the state governor, Seyi Makinde, describing their behavior as a sign of disrespect for the governor and his office. Speaking in Yoruba, Mr. Obasanjo then ordered the seated traditional rulers and leaders to rise and greet the state governor, Makinde. The monarchs rose promptly and then sat as commanded. Several people have criticized Mr. Obasanjo for tongue-lashing the traditional rulers and ordering them to rise, describing his action as a discrimination of Yoruba culture. The Olu Igbo of Igbo, Abdurrashid Akobi, sternly rebuked the former president for his controversial stand-up order directed at the monarchs. Oba Akobi said respect should be earned and not demanded, pointing out that traditional rulers deserve respect from those they encounter. The Oluwo described kingship as a divine institution that should be treated with utmost modesty, courtesy, and respect. He expressed disappointment in the monarchs who complied with Mr. Obasanjo's directive. The Oluwo then demanded a formal letter of apology from the former president, arguing that Yoruba monarchs should always be treated with respect. But when contacted on the matter on Saturday, Mr. Obasanjo told information reporter that he acted the way he did because the monarchs displayed utter disrespect for Governor Makinde. It later became the tone of the governor to speak as he rose. Every other person at the venue, including me, stood up as demanded by protocol and in respect for the governor and his office. Again, the Oba'S refused to rise. They all remained seated. I then asked people around whether that was a practice in Oyo State. I was told that the Oba'S have always displayed disrespect for the governor. I wondered where they got that from and then decided to speak to them about it. As far as I'm concerned, there is constitution and there is culture. By our constitution, the governor is the leader of a state. Everyone must respect him, no matter him or our status or age. He deserves respect no matter how young he is, and protocols must be observed. That was why I spoke to them the way I did. I wanted them to realize that it is not part of Yoruba culture to disrespect authorities. Respect begets respect, and they must learn to deal with their governor with respect if they want to be respected in return. I respect traditional rulers, and even when I was president until today, I treat them with reverence. I prostrate, bow, and kneel before them as necessary. Few people died while 12 others were reportedly injured in the early morning crash on Sunday around Foursquare Camp, Ajibo, along the Lagos-Ibadan expressway. The accident was said to have happened when a DAF truck with registration number KMC 810ZB lost control after having a burst tire and occupied road, while a Toyota Bolt with registration number TMA 244X8 and another Mitsubishi pickup vehicle without registration number ran into the truck. This was according to the statement from the spokesperson for the Osun State Sector Command of Federal Road Safety Corps, Florence Okwe. The injured victims were said to have been taken to Victory Hospital, Ogere, for medical attention, while the corpses were deposited at FROC Morgue Ipare Remo. The statement partly read the FRC Ogumapin Unit Command carried out their rescue operation in the early hours of Sunday at about 6:15 hours on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, few meters before Foursquare Camp, and the rescue operation was done with the help of the Nigeria police. A total of 31 persons were involved in a multiple crash, and all male adult 12 people were injured. Unfortunately, 5 persons were recorded dead from the road crash and remains were borne unearthed. The suspected cases of the road crash were speed, tire burst, and loss of control on the part of the truck driver whose vehicle crashed and occupied the road, and others were running into the crashed vehicle. The injured victims were taken to the Victory Hospital, Ogiri, for medical attention, while the corpses of the deceased were deposited at FOC Morgue, Iparabemo. The Rivers State Police Command said it was unaware of any levy imposed on any community in Ahuada, West Local Government area of the state by suspected cultists. Spokesperson for the State Police Command, Grace Iringe Koko, said days after a stakeholder in an order West raised the alarm that suspected cultists were demanding 10 million naira security levy on some communities in the area. Iringe Koko, Superintendent of Police, however, called on stakeholders in affected communities to make a formal complaint to the police about the incident. She stated for now the command is not aware of any levy imposed on any community in the community or any other community in Rivers State. If there is such situation, we expect the people or stakeholders in the area to make an official report in the Aoda division. They can even come to the command headquarters and report the situation before. If they don't report, how will the police know when they claim it's happening? She said the police were working round the clock to reach communities in the state of criminal elements and ensure that suspected criminals were apprehended. A stakeholder was speaking anonymously on Nigeria Info, the Port Harcourt-based radio station monitored by correspondent, alleged that some communities in the local government are already contributing 100,000 naira per house to make up the 10 million naira levy they termed survival money. The stakeholder said on Friday that the very day the divisional police officer of Aoda Bako Bashir was killed. Court gangs in the Aoda West local government area sent messages to various communities to pay the said sum or be ready for their actions. The very day the man was killed, the money was said. The communities now are paying 100,000 for survival, and it is not good. There is even a report that Gift Debbie they are chasing has left Aoda East and is now in the Aoda West. Tragedy struck in Okola community in Rekodo, local government area of Osun State, on Sunday as some men bearing arms stormed the palace of Olokola of Okola, killed a mission seeker, Ibrahim Kudu, before setting the palace ablaze. Uncle to the deceased Jew Jimo Kodir made information said that assailants were led by a man identified simply as Naim, who was the only one among the attackers that did not cover his face during the incident. Kadri, who could not give a reason for the attack, said the reporters and perpetrators, initially stormed his personal house and met his absence before they proceeded to his father's house, late Obajimo Adigun, the Olokola of Okola, that he used as palace before his demise. I was not at home, but my wife called me that gunmen numbering about 20 had stormed my house in Okola area very early on Sunday morning. She told me that they all covered their faces, but one of them, bearing Naim, did not cover his face, and my wife saw him. The attackers were after me and they searched around the house. When they could not find me around, they vandalized the building and proceeded to my family house where my late father, Olokola of Okola, used as his palace. It was there they saw Kudus, a son of my elder brother who was living in Nevada, until he recently returned home to seek university admission after writing UTME. When contacted, the Osun State Police Command spokesperson, Yemisi Opalola, who said the police commissioner, Kehinde Longe, had visited the scene of the crime, added that more operatives had been deployed to the area. Someone was burned will occur around Okola. The area is between Ifon and Ilobu. We have deployed our men to the area to forestall further breakdown of law and order. The Commissioner of Police has visited the scene, Okola stated. A building with over 500 rooms has collapsed in the K2 area of Lagos State. According to information, at least 2 persons are currently battling for their lives at a private hospital after the school-turned residential building partially collapsed on Saturday. The building housing hundreds of residents located at Agboye Estate on Ojuto Street, K2, first caved in on Saturday afternoon following hours of rainfall that greeted most parts of Lagos. On Sunday afternoon, as residents were still trying to salvage their belongings, the building crumbled again, destroying another structure inside the compound before collapsing completely. The development sent panic across the area, forcing hundreds of families and individuals residing in the building to vacate the premises. During a visit to the affected building on Sunday, dozens of residents were seen moving their belongings in different directions as officials of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency condoned off the premises. The affected compound housing several defective buildings has been marked for demolition by officials of Lagos State government. In December 2014, information reached after weeks of investigation published a report on the collapsed building titled 500-room house in Lagos where tenants live as prisoners. The report chronicled the horrible living conditions of tenants of Oba's estate, who contended with snakes, scorpions, and all the dangerous animals because of stagnant sewage water at the back of the building. In most of the blocks constructed only inches away from each other, at least 12 rooms shared a single toilet and bathroom. On average, 2 persons occupy each room, bringing the number of users of a single toilet to 24. Following the report by Saturday, at the time, the Lagos State government partially sealed the building but lifted the sanction a few days later. After Sunday's tragedy, the landlord of Oba's estate reportedly went into hiding. Effort to reach the Director General of Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Femi Osun State, were unsuccessful, unsuccessful as calls to his phones were not answered and he had yet to reply to text messages sent to him at the time of press time. The Deputy Director of Public Affairs, Lagos State Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, Mukaila Senusi, when contacted by a correspondent, said he would call back. But he had yet to call back of the time of filing this report, and calls to his line afterwards were unanswered. The rise in the cost of crude oil, coupled with the depreciation of the naira against the United States dollar, might lead to an hike in pump price of petroleum, popularly known as petrol, oil market stated on Sunday. It was also gathered that a sharp rise in crude oil price to about $94 per barrel and the crisis around Forex had guaranteed a gradual increase in the amount being quietly spent as subsidy on petrol by the federal government. Dealers in the downstream oil sectors explained that the cost of crude oil and the exchange rate of dollar accounted for over 80% of the cost of PMS. Brent crude, the global benchmark for oil, rose to $94 per barrel on Sunday, the highest figure in 2023. Oil has started the year at about $82 per barrel, dipped to $70 per barrel June, but traded above $92 per barrel in the past weeks. Information also reported on Thursday that the naira weakened to 950 naira per dollar as first scarcity worsened. The report stated that the naira fell further against the dollar the preceding day Wednesday after closing at 950 naira per dollar at the parallel market. Finally, on sport, Sao Tome and Principe women's team has withdrawn from the 2024 Women Africa Cup of Nations first-round qualifiers against Nigeria's Super Falcons. The game is scheduled for the Mobolaji Johnston Arena for Friday, September 22nd, and with the return leg scheduled for Tuesday, September 26th. A source confirmed to information that the team has withdrawn from the qualifiers and the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) has written to clubs to notify them about the withdrawal of Sao Tome. Recall that during the week, the NFF announced the Super Falcons squad for the games with confusion over the coach status. Among the 24 players invited to the Super Falcons camp for the next week's first leg qualifying match for the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations against Sao Tome and Principe are goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadoze, midfielder Rashidat Ajibade, and striker Azizat Oshoala. Onome Ebi, the team's captain, as well as the regulars Mitchell Alozie, Rafiat Imran, Ifeoma Onomenu, Vivian Ikechukwu, and Gift Monday are all listed on the roster. With the withdrawal of Sao Tome, the 9-time African champion will play host to the winner of another first-round match between Liberia and Cape Verde during the second-round stage, which is scheduled to take place from November 27 to December 5, 2023. The biggest women's football fiesta on the continent will once again be held in Morocco, which hosted it last year. With the sports story, we've ended the national news from BGI TV. Before we go, some headlines. Why I ordered your Oba'S to stand, Obasanjo. FRC blames speeding as Lagos Ibadan road crash kills 5. Police deny cultist 10 million naira levy in Rivers communities. Government kill admission seeker, raise Osun Palace. Finally, on sport. Qualified Super Falcons booked second round ticket as Sao Tome and Principe pulled out. For more updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Baba Bagede Imo Television. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell, select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For advertisements of your coverage of news or events, kindly call the phone number streaming on your phone. Thank you for watching. I am Mauriwe Regular Lawa. Good afternoon.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.